What's up, guys? It's Demented Caliber here.
That's S13 the Beast.
Quack.
I don't think your name is Quack.
Now, quack.
Okay, yeah, I guess. Alright. What are we coming to talk about today, babe?
Uh, we are coming to talk about a BDSM inappropriate-ish related topic about something you saw earlier and the premise around it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, from my understanding, you were watching a YouTube person earlier today, and they showed some things that you were uncomfortable with.
Yeah. Not
All right,
really
so
uncomfortable, but some things that I think shouldn't be shown on YouTube.
yeah, all right, or at least not without warning.
Yeah, not without warning.
So it was a BDSM gear video,
Mm-hmm.
and what was shown in the video? What was shown in the video?
Uh, 4 butt plugs, I'll explain here in a second. Handcuffs, a collar with a leash on it, and a cock ring.
And what were the things you what was that face? What were the things that you had an issue not having?
The butt plugs and the cock ring.
Yeah. Okay. And my thing is so that the video was labeled BDSM gear. What do you think of when you think of BDSM?
Leathers, uh, choker or not chokers, gag balls and some stuff like that. Just like the
And
use.
Beast, what do you think of?
Oh, harnesses, uh, leather. A little bit of maybe even some of that latex, maybe.
Oh, you read my mind, Beast. Yeah, I was actually gonna put latex in there because that is the biggest
So,
thing when it
so
comes.
one of the butt plugs was a tail, correct?
Correct.
So, but they showed the entire thing.
Oh yeah, they showed the entire tail and plug.
All right. So,
We gotta have representation
so
here.
can you still hear me?
Yes.
So when I think of BDSM gear, I think of collars. I think of clamps. Ah,
Warning. There is. Are we're talking about nipple clamps, right?
yeah.
Warning. She is going to show nipple clamps.
All right. We're talking about some metal. And I do consider tails a an aspect of
Mm-hmm.
BDSM gear, but I've shown these before on Demented Caliber's channel, and here's how I showed them. Because this is how I'm comfortable showing these things. This is how they're on my Instagram. This is how I show people my tails. And because they're rather pretty. Oh, yeah, I like tails. But when I think of BDSM, like, this is my bondage collar. Lock, leather.
Which I have the key to.
Like, even these are clamps. They're considered nipple clamps, but honestly, you can pretty much attach them to any. Ow, that hurt. You can pretty much attach them to any piece of skin.
Well, those, in theory, the way they're designed, they can be used for anything. They can actually be used to hold a picture up.
Well, here's the thing: is that in BDSM, clamps aren't just used for that. They're used for loose skin. Like you'll find them going up someone's side, and then they get pulled off. Like it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But these are all external things. I have handcuffs up there that I don't feel like going to get. But we talked about leather. Fuckers.
Yeah, and see that's something that doesn't need a warning, because that can be
And
used for multiple things.
this is a chain collar. It's honestly a dog collar, but same premise. And stuff like rope, latex, harnesses, restraints. This is all what I consider BDSM oriented gear. Again, I do consider the tail. The tail isn't something you're gonna find in a normal couple's drawer. But when you're looking at more common objects like regular butt plugs, a cock ring, I don't really think that stuff like that needs to be explicitly shown. You can talk about it, sure, like we're talking about it now, but like if you put in BDSM and BDSM gear and you put like in the description BDSM gear and sex toy collection, that's fine. Because most of the time when you think gear, like when I think BDSM gear, I think like even my pacifiers are BDSM gear. I think pacifiers, I think specific kink related things, I think tails, ears, restraints, BDSM related outfits, collars, stuff like that. Whips, paddles, floggers, belts. I think of stuff like that, rope. But when I think of BDSM gear, I don't really think of sexually related objects because BDSM is most of my life. It is my lifestyle choice. It is my preferred hobby, I guess you could say. And honestly, 80% of BDSM is non-sex related. Like if I were to do a BDSM collection right now, there would be two tails, and those would be the only two things that are internal objects. And I wouldn't show the internal part because that's not really the main point of it. It's the point that it's a tail, not the point of where it goes. Like if it was a clip-on tail, I'd show just as much of it. So like that's my thing. Like if you give warning, like if you're gonna like people do sex toys reviews on YouTube, people do the Clone a Willy kit on YouTube, and that's all fine. But no, your people need to know what they're getting themselves into, and that's my whole thing.
Yeah. Also, I would like to point out if you're gonna feature like sex toys and shit in your video, age restricted.
Yeah.
Yeah, big one.
That's the biggest one. But I would like to touch on the topic of somebody had said nice collection in said YouTuber's comment section. I'm thinking to myself, that's 4 things. That's not really a collection.
Right. It's more of a
just
you know,
shit you bought.
Bag. Yeah, it's just like one of those when you go to the store and you get like a bunch of stuff. What are those videos called?
Hauls.
Yeah, it's like it's more of a haul video.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I necessarily wouldn't classify butt plugs as BDSM because normal sex people use those. There's a lot of this is going to sound gruesome. Again, warning. There's a lot of females out there who like anal who aren't into BDSM.
It's true.
You got any thoughts on the matter from your perspective, Beast, as you being a father and your kids watching YouTube videos from time to time?
Well, I mean that's the main thing. It's like the main reason or main issue I have that it wasn't properly like age restricted, and the title was a little misleading. So I mean obviously my kids are not going to watch anything with BDSM anyway, but you know. It not being age restricted, it's possible that they could click on something like that if they're just like zoning through.
Yeah.
So, without having that extra layer of protection, I guess. I mean, you know, haha.
You make it sound like a condom.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like no pun intended. But why not take the extra precaution? I mean, try to make this. YouTube is like a community for everybody. So if you're going to have like something that's more age explicit, mark it as such, and definitely mark your video with a more appropriate title, letting people know what they're getting into.
I can tell you right now why they don't. When you age restrict something, you get less views, and when you use tags like BDSM, you get more views. Like sex toy, you're probably going to get your video taken down. And I understand that, but I mean, a 2-second flash at the beginning of the video, like BDSM gear, flash, sex toys. Like, it's not that. to put those things in there.
You know, maybe, just maybe, if you're worried about views per se and ratings and all that jazz for the the fancy world of YouTube, maybe you shouldn't do videos that are gonna end up causing controversy in a negative way. I'm just saying. I mean,
And this is not me ragging on her. And I commented on the video to said person. I said, "Hey, hon, you shouldn't have showed that." Then I said, "Not to dog you, but you really shouldn't have showed the butt plugs."
Like, here's the thing: I run a kink YouTube, and there's very little on there that isn't kink related. My bio says that it's a kink YouTube. It says 18 plus. I don't know how to age restrict my videos, but none of my videos are really ever explicit enough to
Yeah.
require age restriction. They've never been forced into age restriction. Um, but I'm also pretty conscious about what I put on there because I know that writing 18 plus and age restricting something isn't going to keep kids off there. And the same thing with my Instagram. Like, my Instagram says 18 plus and it is considered a kink Instagram. But I'm also not going to push the limits of what I can and can't post on there because if you truly believe that minors do not belong in kink, then you will try your best to not give them more exposure to it. Like, when I talk about things, I usually talk about them in general or specific to one topic. I don't really go off on, I did this to myself the other day, or, I know how to do this, or it's normally a pretty broad topic that goes, like, that doesn't personalize me in any way, shape, or form, because I also don't really want to be seen as a,
Weirdo.
not so much a weirdo. I don't want people to look at me and see my kinks. I want them to look at me and see me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to look at me and not just see me as a collection of sex toys they saw one day. I want to be someone that they can ask questions to, that they think they'll actually get a intelligent answer. And that's what I do. Like, honestly, I'm like, the point of me is to inform. Like, I get a fair amount of views. I don't get a shit ton of views, but in like a month I've got up to 94 subscribers. That's pretty good considering I don't do a lot of shit. You have to say something?
oh, just analogy wise. So basically, you're saying that you want to be known as a person with a kink, not just a kink.
Yeah. And I think that when you put that much stuff out there like that, that's what you get seen as. You get seen as a kink. There is a pretty well-known ABDL enthusiast on YouTube called Binky Princess. And recently she went through something like that where she became so seen as a kink that she started to lose enjoyment for it in her own life because it seemed so expected of her that every time she turned on a camera, she had to instantly be she had to be in little space or else like she wasn't her in her fans' eyes. So she actually started to bridge away from that. And when you put yourself in a box like that, when you put yourself in as like, oh, I'm this person who does this in my spare time with my significant other, this is all of the sex toys we have, I think it takes something away from you. And I don't think people realize it when they start doing it, that it's going to take something away from them. But it really is. Like, I spend very little time in front of a camera in little space because of the fact that I don't feel like taking my time in little space away from me with a camera shoved in my face.
Yeah.
But I believe that, like, if you put your entire sex toy thing, like, collection out there, then you're kind of taking away some intimacy from you and your partner.
Yeah, and there's one thing I would like to touch on. She had made a second video to that, and like she was talking about like her like these videos were uploaded long ago, so obviously I didn't see them when they were uploaded, or else I would have made a video about them. But she was talking about like, oh yeah, well at the time that I uploaded my first video, I was single. I'm in a relationship now, and me and my partner have been in a relationship for a month. and we've expanded more. We've bought more stuff together, this, that, and the other. And I will say this: that goes against what everything of what me and Taro has said throughout our time making BDSM videos.
Hmm.
Would you like to elaborate on what I mean, babe?
Um, well, I mean, personally, I don't think a month is enough time to get to know anybody in a fully intimate manner. I wouldn't move in with someone after a month. I wouldn't marry someone after a month, and I certainly wouldn't let someone dominate me after a month, even if I knew them really well. Like I don't believe that 30 days is enough time to put in enough effort and energy, as well as keep up with your normal life to get to know anybody that well. And personally, from someone who has jumped into things way too quickly sometimes, I don't think within the month of your relationship you should buy anything together. Whether it's a freaking pet or whether it's like I don't think you should buy anything together within the first month. I mean, maybe go get dinner, but I don't like.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you know anybody well enough to put like sure get each other presents or whatever, but like sure have sex. Like I'm not telling people what to do in their life, but I truly don't believe that you can know someone well enough to
Well,
really understand their wants or anything like that.
Go ahead first.
I'm actually looking at this as the BDSM standpoint, because one of the things we had mentioned in our video is don't rush into a CGL relationship. Now, she has expressed to me that she's into pet play as well as DDLG. But judging by her actions in her YouTube videos, from what I can tell now, she has not been in the community very long. And she has a lot of learning to do. And if you do see this, I hope you take this as constructive criticism and not us insulting you.
Right.
Well, I'm just like, I care for you. I've known you for a long ass time. This is actually somebody I personally know. I've known you for a long time, and I don't want to see you get hurt. Because one thing I've learned in my little bit of time being in the BDSM community, it's pretty dangerous.
It can be, and honestly, my three biggest things about it is yeah, the amount of time. I mean, if someone believes they're ready, the world can't stop them from doing
No.
that.
Right.
The timing, the it's not so much showing it; it's not giving the warning. And personally, from a another person's experience who does these kind of things and who does put their life on the internet, I do believe you are taking away some intimacy of your relationship by putting these type of things out online. But yeah, those are my big 3 points.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I 100% agree. That's why I try to. No offense, babe, but sometimes I try to shy away from making BDSM videos.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Because I don't want to end up like those other YouTubers that make these videos. I don't want my subscriber base to think that that's what I'm supposed to make. Believe it or not, my YouTube channel is diverse. It can go in every which direction I want it to. One day I want it to go to some sort of news shit, I can.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. But no, I think the lesson to be learned here, if you are watching this, is take it slow and don't put your life out there as much, because once you start, and I've learned this as well, once you start putting more stuff out about your life, it is not hard for people to find you.
Well, here's something I kind of think of. I've recorded a lot of videos that have never gotten uploaded because when I'm looking at them, the thing I keep in my head is if I put this on the internet, I'm never gonna be able to take it back. Like if I delete it, chances are somebody could have already had a copy of it. Like if I put this on my YouTube channel, I will never be able to completely take this back. Do I actually want this on the internet? And even if it's just I'm out of my my normal mind or something to that effect has happened. Um, or even if it's just I don't like the way a certain thing went. I think that you had a similar situation there, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think we all have making videos, and it's like when you watch it back, it's like, do I actually want this on the internet? And I think that people need to think about that a little bit more. I see more people just kind of throwing things on the internet. Like, hate to freaking bring up this fucker again, but like Logan Paul. I wonder if he sat there and went, "Do I actually want to put this video of a dead body up on the internet?" Like, I don't think he actually thought about it. I think he just kind of went with it.
Well, in Logan Paul's case, I can tell you exactly what he was thinking. Views, views, views. A lot of people's going to watch that video.
Yeah. But,
Whether it's negative attention or positive attention, it's still attention.
oh, I know. I know.
So,
I've said what I need to say.
but yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I don't have any more points. I think we kind of covered it all. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe to these two. He does some pretty cool gun videos. He's starting to do that stuff.
Yeah. Starting to.
And she, as she said in the video, she does some DDLG stuff or BDSM related stuff. So check out her channel. Hopefully she'll start doing these little rants by herself.
I have done one before, remember?
Yeah. Well, you did the one addressing the... Oh, yeah, you did. Never mind. Anyways, guys, this is the Storm Family signing out.